You know what, Michael? He's done it. He's actually done it. Rob Zombie has completely demystified Michael Myers. He's made him completely uncool, uninteresting. He's made him a dull, boring, realistic, real-life human being. He's not the boogeyman anymore. He's killed him. He's killed Michael Myers. Halloween 2 is directed by Rob Zombie and stars Scout Taylor-Compton, Malcolm McDowell, Tyler Mane, Danielle Harris, Brad Dourif, and Sherry Moon Zombie in very awkward cutaways where she's standing with a white horse. We'll talk about that. And this is the continuation of Rob Zombie's vision, his reimagining for what Michael Myers should be, making him a real-life dude. He's not the boogeyman. He's not at all this very ambiguous, interesting phantom of a character. He's just a regular psychopath dude. He's just a real-life guy. And last time he got taken down, and I thought he had his head blown off. Apparently not, because he's just kind of wandering around open fields, killing time, I guess, until Halloween rolls around again. And it does, and he's coming after Laurie again. And I've said it a couple times, these Halloween movies, every time I get to the next bad, awful one, it makes me reflect on the previous bad ones and just want to apologize and write a letter like, I'm so sorry, Halloween 4. I gave you an F. I really regret it now. It's more like a D- or a D something. You don't deserve an F in comparison to this shit. This movie is the worst Halloween movie. I'll say it right now. No matter what they do in the future, it won't get worse than this. It can't possibly. It can't get worse than this. All my worries about Rob Zombie, my parts of the first one that I didn't like, his white trash aesthetic and this awful environment, totally unlikable characters all around, the vulgar ugliness, all that. He's done it. He brought it to a whole 2-hour movie, and he's ruined Michael Myers and Halloween. And is that what you wanted, Rob Zombie? Because you did it. You totally ruined it. Not one aspect of this movie works. I think every aspect of the movie is awful. It's the wrong decision. It's all bad. I don't like any of it. I will say everything. Even the cinematography and filming is bad in this. It's ugly looking. It's very grainy. I think, like he said, he filmed the first one in like 35mm, and then he's like, I don't like this, I'm gonna go to 16mm. It's all grainy and ugly looking. A lot of close-ups on people's face just up to here, and he's trying to be super artsy-fartsy with slow motion and these weird transitions and stuff. It's just pretentious and ugly, and it's vulgar like the first one, just turned up to 11. Every other word is an F-bomb or something. It's so annoying. It's just, when you hear cursing so much, it just starts annoying you. Like, pick another word. You're writing a script. Do you get tired writing F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb over and over? There's a lot of colorful words to this English language. Find another one, asshole. And all the characters are detestable and unlikable. Michael Myers just totally ruined in this. He is ruined. He's not the shape of pure evil. And in the first, he was trying to set that up like, I want to reinterpret him as a real-life psycho and just a real dude. Remember how awesome it was? He'd just pop up, really creepy, like he's staring at someone through a window, this and that, and then he's just gone, and it's like vaporous. He just evaporates. We don't know what's going on in this. How better to demystify him than just show him wandering around everywhere? Just Michael walking through fields to get where he's got to go. And they had that a little in the first one too, where it's just awkward. He's supposed to be like real creepy, pops up in places, and he's gone, and it's creepy. When you see him just wandering around everywhere as a hobo, he's got like a jacket and a hoodie, and he's got a giant, he looks like a member of Duck Dynasty with his huge beard, and the mask is totally like ruined. I guess like she shot him, but it didn't kill him. I don't know what happened there, but there's like a hole, and eventually that whole half of the mask is ripped. So it's Michael Myers, which the original mask was creepy enough. It was a nice redesigned creepy, and then like this whole part is Michael Myers' hillbilly face, which is awful looking, not to mention with all the scruffy hair. It's just an awful look for Michael Myers. He's no longer scary. He's just this big hillbilly. As intimidating as he might be in size, he's just totally not Michael Myers anymore. His kills and the way he goes about things, totally on Michael Myers. He's wandering everywhere, killing so many random people that don't matter. Why is he at this strip club killing people? To fill up time, I guess. Why is he over here to kill these people? Laurie's not involved in this at all. To kill time, I guess. Not to mention just how he plays Michael this time. And they had this a little bit in the first one. I did notice this time watching. He grunted when he killed some people. Like when he's ripping up the ceiling and other moments, I heard Michael grunting. Big no-no, because Michael, I get it, it's a new interpretation, but Michael, silent, never says a word. And the first one, whatever, I like the first one enough, I'll forget about it. But in this, immediately, first time he shows up, he walks up, he's stabbing someone, he's grunting, roll, roll, and he's stabbing someone about 62 times, up and down, up and down. This is the opposite of what Michael Myers is. He's gotten it so wrong, he just wanted to do this shit, and said, I'll do with Halloween, because who gives a shit? So Michael is totally, his character is entirely betrayed. There's not one shred of what Michael Myers is in that character. It is someone else. And speaking of that, they did the same thing to Laurie. This likable, not a virginal goody-goody girl, but she was still very likable. And yeah, what has he done to her? Okay, 2 years later, she's this punk chick who's just a total fucking bitch. She's white trash. She's a super emo goth that has a toxic personality, is instantly just unlikable. I hated her in this. I really hated her. The way she talks to poor Annie, who I liked. Annie and Sheriff Brackett, it's like I like them in this. They're the only characters in the whole movie that I liked and didn't want to see hurt because they're still good people. Taking in Laurie, who is now a bitch and toxic and unlikable. Just an awful character, the way she's played and acted, and the way she's written. It's just like, you know what, Michael? Come back and kill her on Halloween. Make it quick, too, because I don't want to see her live anymore. They took the character that's like the ultimate survivor, Laurie Strode, that's the one you always want to see live, and they've just immediately like, oh, that's the first person we want to see die. She's that unlikable and detestable. And then Loomis, he's an asshole in the first one. He's like this psychiatrist that's likable. He's trying to fix Michael. He's trying and failing to figure out what made him go insane, and he fails, and he's like a broken man, and he has to just come back and try to stop him. And he was likable enough. He was good. In this, he's just an asshole, a money-grubbing asshole. This is not Loomis. None of these characters act like themselves anymore. Loomis is totally different. He's a twat. Laurie is an annoying bitch that's just, oh, she was the worst, actually. Worst of all of them was Laurie. And then Michael, that's not Michael Myers. He barely has a fucking mask anymore. He's a redneck hillbilly murderer wandering around killing people. He doesn't even use the mask for half the kills. It's just like, I'll be here without my mask and step on this guy's head at a strip club just because I felt like it. All the characters I hate. I mean, the two we like, it's like, okay, I still like Sheriff Brackett, but he gets a really bad scene too. Just a spoiler alert real quick, okay? They kill Annie, Danielle Harris, who we never saw die in any of these. She made it through the first one. She lived. That was a nice change. She actually survived. And she survived in 4 and 5, but they recast and killed her in 6. But they kill her here. It's like, she's the only one I like. She's putting up with Laurie's bullshit, trying to be a good friend. And because of it, because Laurie's an asshole, so she ends up getting stabbed and murdered brutally and dying. And then Sheriff Brackett finds her. And it's kind of touching because they use like old footage of real life Danielle Harris as a kid. And it's like, and I feel really sad because this is the only likable good person died because of association, trying to just be friends with her old friend who's now a total bitch. But even that scene, which was kind of effective, it didn't work too because Brad Dourif's acting was really over the top. Rob Zombie directed him really poorly in that scene, just the way he was freaking out. Where is she? I want to see her. And then he finds her, he's like, Annie, oh no, baby. And I was like, no, this is the wrong direction. They could really play this up good, but he's just going super hammy and ruins the moment, which could have been really good. And then all the other kills are random. It's all random assholes we don't care about. It's just, let's just get it over with. Stab him 62 times and move on. We just show up at all these random locations. Here's people banging in a van. Michael will kill him and move on. He goes to a strip club, kills people for no reason, moves on. The whole beginning, this movie begins with a very long, the hospital thing, and it's kind of effective at first, where it's like, I don't like the aesthetic of what they're doing with Michael and his whole personality and way he operates, but the idea of this really intense chase through a hospital, it was effective. And then another spoiler alert, but where they go with that is just mind-blowingly awful, because it's almost 20 minutes of this chase through a hospital. Dream sequence never happened, and they do that again and again. Dream sequences. Here's Laurie getting eaten at a table by goblins and pumpkin heads, and I don't know why. Bunch of random dream imagery. Sherry Moon Zombie in this, hilarious, just making me crack up every time with laughter. She shows up acting like she's not even saying anything half the time, but just her faces. She's all up in white with a white horse and young Michael Myers, and it's so arty, pretentious, trying to mean something with the white horse, and it's awful, and it's just so much bullshit dream imagery that doesn't matter. I hate this movie. I hate this movie. This is the worst Halloween movie by far. They can never do worse. They've utterly betrayed the spirit of Halloween, the character of Michael Myers in every way. This isn't him. The movie's just pretentious horror bullshit. It's an ugly, vulgar, intolerable movie that is just not only boring, but just annoying, infuriating to watch. You feel your time being wasted on this ugly, crappy movie. Rob Zombie might have got to do what he wants and like continue his vision and not just remake, okay, now we'll do the one set in the hospital. Let's do something really different, go in a way different direction. Good for you. Fuck you, Rob Zombie. You made an awful movie. Life. It is just an ugly, vulgar, intolerable, gross, violent, not well made movie. Everything, every direction, every decision, it's all wrong where they go with every character. Fuck you, Rob Zombie. Fuck you. I would give Halloween 2 an F, and this is the strongest F possible. If there was something worse than an F minus, I would do it because this is the worst. Really, Halloween 3, apologies, you deserve more of a D+ because you were campy, fun, silly, if not boring and whatever, but at least you were doing something. Halloween 4, again, I apologize. I'm sorry. You get more of a D or a D-. You were a generic slasher that had some really dumb logic and here and there bad bullshit. It's still better than this. Halloween 6 and Halloween Resurrection, both still Fs, but they were enjoyable. They were tolerable. They didn't piss me off, infuriate me, bore me, disgust me. Everything about this movie is just... it's the worst. Like, the best thing I can say is I got a smile on my face when 2 people from Sons of Anarchy had small roles in this. Sheriff Unser and then Bobby Elvis were in this in small roles, and I was happy at that. Like, hey, there's some people I know from better stuff. Sons of Anarchy, way better than this. This is the death of Michael Myers, legitimately. This is the worst. It should not even be acknowledged as a Halloween film because it is not. It is the farthest thing Rob Zombie, what little good he had and was accomplishing and really doing, changing, interesting me with the original Halloween. It's like he continued in the worst way to demystify Michael and ruin him. Comment below, tell me your thoughts on Halloween 2, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.